Hello, this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator working in the UK. Thank you for joining me today and pressing play on the video. And welcome if you've joined me, especially to join in with my card making for beginners series. This is number 20, can you believe it? We've been doing this for 20 weeks, so that's really brilliant. Thank you if you've joined me all the way along. If you've got any comments on what you'd like to see in this series, please let me know. I've still got a few up my sleeve, lots of simple stamping projects, and I'm going to introduce some of the other tools that we haven't talked about yet. There are more, yes. So I've got lots of things, and also some of the other bits and pieces in the catalogue that you might not have used yet. So lots to come, lots of exciting stuff. But today we're into Christmas, and we're using the gorgeous Snowflake Wishes stamp set. Now, you may have overlooked this in the catalogue, but it's absolutely gorgeous. The images on the front here are actually smaller than the images in the stamp set. So this stamp here is this one here, so you can see they're a lot smaller. So this one is this one, because they won't all fit on the cover. But they're all here, and of course there are matching dies to go with it. But if you are really a beginner and don't have a die cutter, or not quite sure about dies at the minute, you don't need the dies. There are some fabulous examples in the catalogue, but I noticed that most of them appear to need the dies. So the suite starts on page 36. So some gorgeous examples here, but they do all need the dies to be used with them. Then this is the page with the paper, beautiful Snowflake Splendor paper, which I've used quite a bit. Love this winter snow embossing folder, but again, if you don't have a die cutter to emboss on, then that's not for you. Lovely embossed iridescent ribbon as well, gorgeous. And then here's the stamp set. Absolutely beautiful, loads and loads of different snowflake images, really gorgeous. And I resisted for a long while because I've made snowflake Christmas cards for so many years, and I thought, no, this year I'm not going to do that, I'm going to be different. But I've given in. It's so lovely, and I've seen so many gorgeous samples with this that I thought, no, I have to go with it. So I bought it. So this is why my bank balance is always empty. Being a demonstrator, although I earn a bit of money from my lovely customer orders, it goes straight out the door on more product. So hey ho, this is what we're going to make today. It's a very simple stamping card, just stepped up with a couple of layers. Matting. We talked about matting in a previous video, so if you missed that, just hop back and look at that. But the thing that I've tried to do with these cards today is I have tried to keep to 3 colours of cardstock and 3 colours of ink. So on this one, I have used Night of Navy, Smoky Slate and Seaside Spray. And the 3 colours of card are Seaside Spray, Night of Navy and Whisper White. So just 3 types of colours cardstock, 3 colours of ink. And today what we're going to do is we're going to do a lilac one. So we are going to do a purple posy base with a Highland Heather matte, Whisper White again, and we're going to stamp in Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape. Of course, we don't have purple posy ink because that was the one that the manufacturer couldn't get perfect, and Stampin' Up didn't want to release a less than perfect product onto the market, so they wouldn't release it. So we don't have purple posy stamp time. Right, okay, so we are going to get started. So you can see what I'm doing today is one of my long thin cards, because I found a whole stash of envelopes, this shape envelopes, in a whole load in my stash, and so I really need to think what to do with them. So I have made been making some cards to fit these envelopes. Now they are quite difficult to come across. I found a whole load of silver, gold and pearl white envelopes in my stash. So if you are into making these long thin cards and would like some, I am selling these in packs of 10 envelopes, and there are gold, silver or pearl white, like I say, packs of 10 for if you're in the UK, for £2.50 including the postage. So if you're interested, just leave me a message on this video, leave me a message on my blog, leave me a message on Facebook. Don't mind where you leave it, as long as I see it, I'm happy. And I will pop them in the post to you. £2.50 for 10 envelopes. And they're really lovely quality because they're metallic or pearl. The pearl white ones are lovely. So anyway, let's get on. So I've got my purple posy base here. This measures, so this is half a sheet of A4, so we'd have another sheet here, another half here. Measures 15, and I've scored at 7.5. So that's my card base, and it measures along 20.5. Because my envelope measured, I think my envelope measured, let me just measure it in measure. I think it was 21.5, so I've just left a bit of a gap. Yeah, 21.5. So I've left a centimetre at each, a half a centimetre at each end for the card to fit in the envelope. So you can see there's plenty of space there for the card to fit in the envelope. And this way across, it is 7.5. And then what I've done is I've cut a mat, which is like this, and the mat measures 19.5, so a centimetre smaller than our card base, and 6.5, sorry, so it's a centimetre, so generally centimetre shorter and a centimetre less long than the card blank. Sorry, I can't get my words out today. Right, okay, and then the card, the panel that we're going to stamp on again is again 1 centimetre, half a centimetre smaller, so it is 19 by 6 centimetres. It looked really thin. When I had this panel, I thought, oh, it looks really thin. But once it's mounted on the mat, it looks absolutely fine. So let's do our stamping first. I'm just going to find a piece of scrap paper to stamp on, because I don't want to spoil my grid paper, because I've got a lot of videos to do and I don't want to keep changing my grid paper over. Right, there's my panel. So I'm going to bring my original up. Not that you need to stamp it in exactly the same place, but it just gives me a little bit of idea of where to stamp. So I'm going to start off by stamping in Highland Heather. I'm going to stamp full strength for some of them, and then you can see I've done 2nd generation stamping here. So I've stamped and then I've stamped again without re-inking. So just to give you that variation, which is why you can get away with using just 3 colours, because you can vary the strength of colour. So here we go. Here's my Highland Heather. Just checking it is the right colour. Looks quite dark then. I'm going to... Oh, no. What am I doing? I need to stamp the sentiment first. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment in Gorgeous Grape. I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape a little bit for some of the snowflakes. But I need to stamp my greeting, and I did it on the left hand side of the card for this one. This one I'm going to change it up. I'm going to do it on the left hand side. Now excuse me if my head comes into view here. I just need to be right over it so that I make sure I get it straight. There we go. Give it a good push. You could put it on a foam mat if you wanted to be really sure. And then I'm going to put this away just for a moment, and we'll come back to that in a minute. Right, now we can go back to Highland Heather, and our biggest snowflake that we're going to use today. It's not the biggest one in the set, but it's the biggest one we're going to use today. So we're going to stamp that there, and then I'm going to stamp one off at the top there. So without re-inking, I've stamped that again. I'm then going to come in again, and I'm going to do a full strength one over here. Now, because I've not stamped the whole thing, I'm going to stamp off, and then actually I want a full strength one there. I think I was going to do a stamped off one, but I'm going to do a full strength one, and then I might do a little bit of a half stamped one there. So like I say, this is very random. So, and then using the same colour but a different snowflake, we're going with this snowflake this time. Same thing. We're going to ink up and stamp at full strength, and then we're going to ink. We're going to stamp again without inking again, and again. Going to ink, and so we might do that one going off the edge there. This time I'm going to have to ink and stamp it off on the paper because I don't want a part image, and we'll plonk that one in the middle there. There we go. There, lovely. And then I've got a little snowflake, and this one I'm going to stamp in Gorgeous Grape, but I'm going to stamp it off. So on this one I did Night of Navy, but I stamped it off. This was Night of Navy that's undiminished, and this is when you stamp it off, and I quite like that effect. So I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape, and stamp it off each time. I'll probably forget, and so you'll be yelling at your... Now that doesn't look very different to the, doesn't look as different as the Night of Navy on this one, but I'm going to go with it. Where am I going to put it there? There. Slightly different tone, but not very. There we go. Is that enough? I think so. Really pretty though. Quite like a purple snowflake. We're then going to use smoky slate to fill in some of the gaps. And I'm just using this full strength. And I'm using this little stamp set. Where's the stamp? It's this little one here with the tiny, tiny snowflakes, which just makes a really nice filler. And so you're just going to try and fill in some of the spaces between your snowflakes. Just twist it so that it fits in the spaces. And you can carry on filling as much as you like. You might want it quite sparse. You might want to fill in most of the spaces. It's totally up to you. This is your card. There are no right and wrong rules to this. Where else? One little bit coming down there, I think. A little bit in there. Is that enough? I think that's probably enough. I might put one, let's see, I might regret doing this. Just going to put one more in there. Oh, that's all right. Filled in that space quite nicely. There we go. And that's all our stamping done. Oh, apart from in this middle. So now in the centre of mine, I'll glue that together in a sec. In the centre of mine, I did quite a lot of stamping. I'm not particularly happy with it though, so I'm going to try something different in this one. So what we're going to do, we'll take our biggest snowflake. I'm just going to do it on one side this time, not in smoky slate. Use Highland Heather. I might use the smoky slate in a minute, but I want to do the snowflakes first. So I'm just going to do a snowflake going off up there, and then I might use this one and just do one there and one there, and then I'm going to come in with my little smoky slate fillers. And just fill in a little bit of the space around there, like so. It's a bit more subtle, this this inside of my card this time. Some of you may be aware we're back into lockdown here in the UK, so my craft room is once again coming into its own. It's really all there is to do. I could clean my house, but of course I prefer to craft, so my house remains dirty and untidy, but I get lots of crafting done. Right, okay, let's glue all this together. So we've got those, and then we've got that to put. Oh, I'm really liking this colour actually. Very nice. So let's glue, find my Tombow, put some glue on the bow. Oh, got a bit of brown something on there. I don't know what that's come from. There we go. So this is I hope simple enough for beginners to make. So it's got a couple of the techniques that we've covered before. So straightforward stamping, and then stamping off, or two-step second generation stamping, and then a bit of matting. So all techniques that we've covered before in this series. So pop back and have a look at the videos in the series. I'm trying to get everything done today that I need to do, because tomorrow I've got another order coming. I couldn't resist. I've ordered another bundle from the Christmas catalogue, which is a surprise. I'm not telling you which one it is until I might do a quick Facebook Live when I open it. You can have a see what it is. But I want to be able to play, and I've also got my new paper pumpkin kit coming, so I want to be able to craft with those as soon as they arrive. So I've got several jobs that I need to do today. I'm still finishing off my customer thank you. So if you're one of my customers from October. I'm sorry, your thank you package isn't quite in the post yet. I am trying to get them finished today. So I'm hoping they'll be in the post. I've got to wait for the order to come because your product gift is in the order. So I've got to wait for that to come and sort that out. But once it's here, I should be able to get them in the post. But I've got quite a lot to do, so I'm going to have to do them in batches. So yours might not end up being the first one out of the door. So just be a little bit more patient. By the end of the week, I'm hoping you will all have received them. There we go. There we go. And we are done. So a very simple stamping project. Beautiful Christmas card. This stamp set is really worth purchasing. So pretty, so versatile, so many uses. But those are my two simple stamping snowflake cards for our card making for beginners course. So I hope you've enjoyed those. I'm going to be sending out my newsletter fairly soon. If you're not on my newsletter distribution list, you can sign up on my blog. My direction to my blog are underneath this this video, and I always include in my newsletter a special offer for my newsletter readers only. So there will be a special offer in there, so don't miss it. Sign up and to get my email newsletter. I'm not very regular about sending them out. I try to send them out at the beginning of the month, but as you can tell, I'm sending out on the 9th, so possibly even the 10th if I don't get it done today. But I do send out an offer especially for my newsletter readers, so do join up. It's very easy to unsubscribe if you're not interested. There's a button, you just scroll down to the bottom and there's a button to unsubscribe, so you're not signing up for anything dreadful. But anyway, that's it from me today. Hope you have a lovely day, and thank you so much for joining me. Hope you've liked my cards, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now. Bye.